Woody Woodpecker, perhaps the most famous woodpecker of all time. While Woody may be silly, there is a serious lesson we can learn from the birds. Researchers are looking at the brains of woodpeckers for a better understanding of how humans can withstand repeated brain trauma.
CBS 2's Vince Gerasoli reports the collections of the Field Museum are a key part of the study.
This is admittedly a bird brain story about woodpeckers and humans.
A woodpecker's daily life is full of traumatic brain injuries.
In their lives, woodpeckers may bang their heads some 80 million times.
They bang their heads to say, "Look at me." They bang their heads to make a nest.
But to understand why the species still flies high,
The feathers, when they leach out pigments.
researchers looked underground to the massive storage vaults of the Field Museum.
Most people don't know that there's all these alcoholic bird specimens in the basement.
That would be stored in alcohol.
Between 11,500 and 12,000 specimens.
Doctors from the Boston University School of Medicine asked the Field if they could borrow a dozen preserved woodpeckers for dissection. Their brains have been returned in this jar.
Well, we sent the whole bodies. They extracted the brains. I know that sounds weird, doesn't it?
Scientists are discovering repeated head trauma in athletes has led to the excessive buildup of a protein called tau, which can be a sign of brain damage. Surprisingly, researchers found large amounts of tau in woodpeckers too, but with seemingly little impact.
How can a woodpecker keep existing in its life and not showing signs of dementia?
Perhaps, say scientists, there's something in a bird's biological makeup that fights off the buildup of debilitating protein, helping their brains continue to function.
Why do we say bird brain?
Yeah, well, that's a compliment, actually.
A compliment because it's been discovered birds are smarter than we originally thought. Their small brains help them recognize each other, even learn their courting songs from their parents. The Field Museum gets about 100 requests a year to use its specimen library, and now this woodpecker head trauma study is another feather in its cap. But I'm Chuck.
Oh, very well played. And I mean, so important and very interesting that the birds and the genes of people, I mean, obviously they're so much different, and they're trying to open that
maybe
door.
there's something that the birds are doing, or maybe something in the way their heads are shaped that lets this protein build up but doesn't impact them and lets the species live year after year. Maybe we can learn something about helping humans.
Yes, fascinating.
Thanks, Vince.